I want to be very clear from the beginning. Emotion was never designed to lead, and scripture has never treated emotions as spiritual strength. What most people experience as a loss of faith by Monday is not a personal failure. It's the predictable result of asking emotion to govern something it was never meant to govern. See, emotion responds, it reacts, it signals, but emotion does not lead. The moment emotion is promoted into leadership, instability is guaranteed. Not because people are weak, but because emotion is temporary by design. Scripture never warned us about being too obedient. It warns us constantly about being led by the heart. That should tell us something. Okay, Jesus Yahusha says something very simple in John 14:15. He says, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments." See, that statement alone dismantles a lot of modern assumptions. Yahusha does not say, "If you feel close to me," right? If you if worship moves you, if conviction overwhelms you. Love is not measured by intensity. Love is revealed through continuation. See, scripture constantly connects faith to what remains, not what spikes. That's why Jeremiah 17:9 says, "The heart is deceitful above all things," right? That verse is not anti-emotion. It's anti-emotion as leader, right? Emotion changes with environment. Emotion changes in response to atmosphere, and it also mirrors pressure. That's why scripture never hands it the steering wheel. That makes sense? See, this is where people usually get uncomfortable because emotion feels powerful. It feels like movement, right? It feels like sincerity. But movement is not direction. Emotion is excellent at initiating movements, right? But it's terrible at sustaining lives. And that's why Proverbs says in 1632, better is one who rules his spirit than one who takes a city, right? Scripture does not celebrate emotional dominance, it celebrates resistance. Not because restraint is impressive, but because restraint survives pressure. And pressure is where faith is actually tested. You see, if emotional peace were required for obedience, the cross would have never happened, right? In Matthew 26, Jesus Yahusha says, his soul was overwhelmed, sorrow to the point of death. This is not emotional clarity. It is not spiritual excitement. That is emotional collapse. And yet he still says, not my will, but yours. That moment alone settles the argument, right? Obedience does not require emotional agreement, it requires alignment. Yahusha obeys without emotional relief, without reassurance, without intensity. See, if your faith model cannot survive Gethsemane, it is not a biblical faith model. See, Israel is the clearest pattern scripture actually gives us. In Exodus 15, they sing, they celebrate, they rejoice. 3 days later, Exodus 15:24, what do they do? They grumble. Same people, same Yah, same promise, but different emotional state. See, emotion carried them out of Egypt, but it could not carry them through the wilderness. And that wasn't rebellion, it was instability. See, emotion expired and nothing replaced it. That's why scripture never asks people to feel their way forward. It asks them to walk, right? That makes sense? So Sunday provides an atmosphere, right? We got music, we got community, we got reinforcement, we got all these good things, right? But Monday removes it. Scripture never promises faith sustained by atmosphere. Habakkuk 2:4 says, "The righteous shall live by faith." Faith is lived when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, right? When no one is reinforcing it. Emotion helps you feel ready. Faith carries you forward. See, these are not the same thing. So here's the line most people really don't want to hear, right? Is that your faith only functions when you feel something. Your faith is externally regulated. That's why James 1:8 says that a double-minded person is unstable. Double-minded doesn't mean evil. It means pulled by whatever is the strongest in the moment. See, emotion led faith always feels secure and still collapses. And Galatians 5 doesn't describe emotional fireworks, it describes fruit. Fruit grows slowly and quietly. And the main thing is, it's over time. See, fire excites, fruit sustains, and scripture always prioritizes what lasts, right? So if this video unsettled you, that's okay. It's not a bad thing. It usually means something finally has language, right? You don't need more emotion. You don't need more intensity. You need faith that holds when emotion actually leaves. So if this conversation resonated with you, please subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep having these same kind of conversations most people avoid. And I invite you to take the assessment linked in my bio. It will show you where alignment keeps breaking down in real life. I created it. It'll take about 5 minutes. This isn't about hype. It's about peace that lasts past Monday.